we should make the community a better place, and that is how we approach it. One, we want to come in because we live here. We want this to be a better place to live. The people in our church live here, and so we should be involved in our community. My name is Chip Sanders, my wife Rebekah, and we pastor First Assembly of God in Iberia, Missouri. Somewhat of a bedroom community, but also a rural farming community where we raise cattle and hogs and turkeys. This is primarily, and chickens too, so there's a little bit of everything, but very much a rural community. I was asked to join and serve on the board for our Community Action Agency, which serves 8 counties here in the Ozarks. And as I served on that board and began to learn more about federal programs and grants and things, those type of things, I realized that there's a lot of federal money out there. A lot of those organizations are looking for partnerships in the local communities. And so, it started with that kind of seed in my thoughts of, if that money's going somewhere, then why not build a funnel and bring it here to our community? And so as we were praying about that and discovering who we were as a church and things, the Lord began to speak to me about the stories in Genesis of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. And they would dig wells wherever they were, because a well would allow them to water their livestock and to grow crops. And a community would form up around a well. There would be several different farmers or herders that would be able to come, and they would all gather at that well because it was a resource that allowed them to build community and life. And so we felt the Lord speaking to us that we needed to dig wells in our community and in rural communities throughout America, Southern Missouri in particular. And so we began to think of how we could do that. We began to begin to think about the needs in our community. And because we've been able to stay here and learn the community, we were able to develop the Rural Resource, which is what we call the nonprofit that we started. And our church started the nonprofit so that we could compete for grant money and corporate donations from people who may not want to work with a church or a religious organization, but they want to work with a nonprofit that's going to do community development work. And so we put all those pieces together, and the well is what resulted. And our hope is to help other churches as well in their communities dig wells, and so that they can have the resources in their community to develop and to address a lot of the problems. And the primary thing that we address is generational poverty and helping people break through those cycles so that they can have an abundant life. One of the things we discovered as we were looking through the Bible about wells is that Jesus, of course, sat down at a well in John chapter 4, and he talked to a woman there, and she reached her entire community because Jesus spent time talking with her at the well. And we believe that if pastors, if Christians, if leaders will take the time to talk to people that are never going to walk through the door of your church and build that relationship, those are the people that are going to reach your community for Christ.